The day I held aloft my sword and said, "For the honor of Grayskull!"
I was a child of the 80s and I grew up watching SHERIA. I was just a huge fan of the property because honestly there wasn't that much for girls at the time. Because I had that personal connection to the show, it was so important to really do it right if we were going to reboot it. A lot of my friends and I were having conversations about female empowerment. I think we just started to feel like it was the right time, like there was something happening and we felt like young girls really needed a new sort of superhero to look up to.
Beth was awesome to work with. She was interested in, especially my take on female characters. She wanted to go a little bit deeper than the typical girl power show would go, which was really exciting to me, and that was exactly what I wanted to do. I didn't quite find myself relating to princesses when I was a kid. They were always very pretty, they were always very dainty, they were too perfect. And that wasn't my experience as a girl. And so I really wanted to see a version of that rang true to me.
Now to take care of a few things.
Welcome to the rough pitch of episode 114. We have boards from Mickey, Angela, Jasmine, and Kiki.
We have a lot of women, we have a lot of people from different backgrounds. The fact that we wanted to make a show that reflected what we wanted to see and who we were as people, I think really spoke to everybody. And it was like another reason we all really care about SHERIA.
We have a first-time art director, first-time directors, first-time story editor. So we really relied on each other and we really relied on the support from each other in order for this show to be possible at all. So much of that ended up going into the show, even just the story about all these characters working together to like solve this problem, to save the day. It felt like a lot of what was going on with us as well.
I think the biggest message of SHERIA is sort of a combination of no one can do this alone. SHERIA is a strong hero. She's got the sword, she's got the mystical background, but she still needs her friends to come and help her.
From 129?
Yeah, we'll pick it up from 129.
For the honor of Grayskull! Girl power isn't like explicitly stated in our show, but it's implied, and I think it's because Noelle has created a post-misogynist world, which is like very refreshing to live in, because obviously as soon as we walk out of this room, we're faced with things on a daily basis. But in this world, a woman in power is not something that's commented on. A woman's shape is not commented on.
Why isn't it attacking the woods?
It's still just a horde bot. We know how to handle these.
It was very important to me from the start that our characters represented a diversity of body shape, a diversity of ethnicity, and a diversity of, I guess, romantic and gender expression. We wanted our characters to fall along these spectrums in so many different ways.
The reaction on the show has been absolutely nuts. It's amazing. I've gotten phone calls from friends that have said thank you for being a part of a show that I see myself on. It's makeover time!
To see yourself reflected in that way, it's hugely important, because if you only see one type of body type in that role, you start to think maybe that's just what a protagonist looks like.
And Marcus on 128, could I get a little bit of a scream and a voice crack there? Because it's just, Bo's really freaked out.
Oh, did you learn anything new from Light Hope?
Getting way better at transforming my sword. Look!
Wow! A picture! That's so useful! Bo, back in the old days of SHERIA, was like this middle-aged white man who was like, "Oh, SHERIA, let's save the day!"
SHERIA, thank goodness you're here.
I feel like new Bo is obviously different in that he's an African-American character, and I think he's a really cool male character in an animation that we haven't seen too often. Do we have a new addition to the Best Friends Squad?
Shut up.
He's there to support his female leads, and I think a lot of young boys can learn a lot from watching what Bo does and how he treats the women around him.
Could I be this miniature painted model of Bo?
No! Those represent Bo and Glimmer, and this one's mine. Bo made them for us. Okay, just everyone focus.
My little cousin Jackson and little cousin Timothy both watched the show. They watched all 13 episodes super quick. I was getting really excited because I was like, oh, we're gonna get you guys Bo action figures and Bo pins and all this stuff. And they were like, nah, we want She-Ra figures, which I think is super dope and kind of like the motive of the show. It's really opening people's eyes and getting people to see a strong female lead in an animation, which I don't think is done too often.
I think we were all sort of making the show for ourselves in the past. So when I look back and I see myself as this kid, and I think, what does she need to see right now? And how can I be the person that I needed when I was that age? And hopefully that rings true to the kids who are watching it now.